Welcome to the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. From a haunted abandoned asylum to Sasquatch lurking in the dark woods and watching you, and all things unexplained, here are the stories from outside our realm. With your host, Bill Rigby.
Hey everybody, tonight we're doing a little collaboration here. Les took a report Monday, and Ryan Paul Tremblay was going to be here, help work through this, but he has some issues going on. He'll try to get in when he can, if he can make it. Gwendolyn is nice enough to jump in since she's in one of her moods where she wants to beat on me. But what it is, I'm going to let Les kind of get the story going. And then we're going to try to help figure this out somehow, some way. Good evening, Sybil. So, Les, go ahead. Take it away, brother.
Monday evening, I had a gentleman call me and said he wanted to know if I would listen to something his wife had experienced on Sunday. And I said absolutely. And what she had experienced is Sunday evening, about between 10:30 and 10:45. She was driving down this little 2-lane road just outside of their hometown, which is the area that she had this sighting of this thing was probably about 3 miles away from their home. She rounds a turn, and there's a power pole on the on the right. She sees a deer coming out from near that power pole on all fours, and she says, "Well, thinking it's a deer, she'll slow down." So she slowed down, but when she did, this thing stood up, like she said, almost like a human. If a human was on its hands and knees or hands and feet or whatever, stood straight up. Just stood straight up in the air, kind of turned to its right as she went by, because she sped up after this thing did it. And when she went by, it turned to its right and watched her going up the road. And as she looked in the mirror, it was still standing straight as a board, watching her drive off. And then finally it turned on 2 legs and walks down over the hill toward the creek nearby. And she was so freaked out when she seen this and talked to me about it. She didn't even want to Google deer standing up or anything that had anything to do with it, because she was freaked out. And so I went down and went to the location where she had the sighting. I do know there's a lot of deer in that area at times, especially across the road. There's a big field. I travel the same road and the nearby road every day for work and stuff. But I'm not sure what she experienced. I mean, I know there are some Native American lore that has to do with things like this. And I do know there's some Native American history within that general area. There's been some battles over the years, back in the pioneer days, I guess you'd say, or whatever. There's an actual gentleman named Captain James Booth, was killed just maybe half a mile up the road. He's got a monument stands there. He was killed by Indians then. I also took another report a couple years ago in that general area, basically half mile away, where the monument stands. Just across the road from the monument, there was I guess you'd say it wasn't a Bigfoot or anything like that. This was like a large black shadowy thing standing along the road. Then last year, I think it was, or the year, I don't believe it was the year before. I believe it was last year. I took a report in the same general area, almost to the spot where this deer thing, not very far. I mean, within like a couple 100 feet of a gentleman driving in the same area, and he sees a strange dog run across the road. Then this dog stands up on 2 legs, runs down over the hill, runs into the creek, and then off across the creek and up the hill. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know, just kind of figure it out. Maybe somebody can help me figure this out. Maybe, get some brains clicking here and try to get some answers.
I keep going back to shapeshifters,
Right.
In my mind, but there's so many different Indian lores and legends and actual Indian demons.
Mm-hmm.
It could be one of them. It's kind of confusing.
It
I ain't
is.
going to deny it. I'm not going to deny that. It's very interesting trying to figure out what the hell it is. And that's where we actually need Ryan, because he's so up on all this. Am I right, Gwen?
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely knows this Indian stuff. And oh, here you go, Les.
Yeah,
Civil War.
I couldn't tell you. I really don't know if there would be a portal there. I mean, like I said, I've just got into reports. I couldn't really tell you. Like I said, I do know there's some pretty dark history in that area. So I don't know if it's tied to that or what it's really tied to.
Yeah, with the war both in the Indians, the whatever else, the craziness that's been going on there. It's just,
Well, I'll give you something else. Another example. My son, my oldest son, Justin, he's a Little Debbie distributor. Well,
right.
Near where this black figure was seen.
Wait a minute, time out. He's a what distributor?
He's a Little Debbie distributor.
I love that boy.
You know what?
I love that boy.
Yeah, he's actually the largest here in his region. He's
wow.
Right. When prior to COVID, I'm getting off on a little tangent. I'll just go on to prior to COVID, when things were like booming, he sold anywhere from 10 to 12,000 pounds of Little Debbie cakes a week.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's a lot of fudge rounds, buddy.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's finally starting to pick back up. But he sells a lot of it. But anyway, I've helped him during COVID there. When I was out of work, I would help him. I'd go out with him in the mornings and then on certain days and give him a hand. And he has experienced some stuff there alone himself. But at this bin, they call it the bin, where the truck comes in, unloads his material. There's 4 of them there that they shop out of, I guess you'd say, these 4 distributors. But he's always the first one there. The other guys and gals, they don't have as big as a route, so they're not there like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. They're like 7, 8. But he and I both have been there and had heard, like, it sounded like somebody walking up the gravel toward the trucks. He's been there by himself and swears he has seen like a shadow that would peek around his trailer or peek around his truck. So there's, like I said, there's some weird history, and this is all within like a mile, this little mile span.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. All this is related, connected, or something's completely, or each one may be something different. I'm not sure.
Now you got me really thinking hard.
Yeah.
Now, as a shapeshifter, it can be shifted in different shapes, of course, of different animals, whatever.
Yeah.
But if it comes from an Indian legend of a demon of some sort, that really goes totally a different direction.
Right.
Even though a shapeshifter can be a demon. But
could we be talking about a skinwalker too?
no.
I mean, I know from shows with Ryan that I've done and conversations Ryan and I have had, they will take the form of whatever pelt they're wearing, which is most usually a wolf's pelt or something like that. But Is it possible?
Not actually one of them. It might be a different Indian nationality, tribe, whatever.
It could be
Legend, or
it could
I
be
don't
this,
think it'd be a skinwalker or something like that. I really don't, because that's out with the Navajo, whatever. You know, as Brian pointed out to us several times.
Yeah.
He browbeated it into me, which is good. Could it be from another type of demon from a different tribe?
Right.
Good possibility. But as
Well-
a skinwalker, I'm not buying into that one yet. Yet.
well, yeah, I mean, as far as name as I guess suggested, maybe not. I mean, like I said, it could be something similar. Maybe the tribes here would have called it maybe something different.
Right.
But just to give you an idea, like I said, I've taken some weird reports around the area. About probably 5 miles away, I actually took a report from 1960s that's exactly what I called it. I just called it a skinwalker. I called it the Aberdeen Skinwalker. This family, it was in, let me think what year it was, because he told me he was 13 years old. So I've been 62 or 63. Him and this young boy and his mom and dad were driving along this road. It's called Four States Road. And there's a road that cuts off to the right. It's called Aberdeen Drive. Well, it's a road that goes all the way, comes over the hill, comes out over another little town. And all of a sudden, he sees his dad throw his arm up in front of his mom's face. And his dad hits the brakes on the car. And when he does, his dad yells, "Don't look." And he looked up between the seats. And what he described seeing was a man that was standing on the bank, and he was basically blood red, like he had no skin on him. And all he said was like just completely red. You could see the muscle, I guess. And he said like it's just like he didn't have skin. Jumps from this bank. When this thing hits the road, it's no longer a man. It's a dog. It's a blood red dog. Hits the road, runs across the creek, jumps up all out of the creek onto the bank on the other side. By the time it hits the bank on the other side to run up through the woods, it's a blood red man again, running through the woods. So I don't know. I mean, to me that fits something. That's a shapeshifter of some sort. So
Yep.
for sure.
Right.
Whether it's a skinwalker, I better quit saying skinwalker. I was told by a Native American girl not to call him skinwalker, not to say it too many times. She told me to use flesh pedestrian. So
Flesh pedestrian.
Oh my God. But hey,
I love that.
Hey, Melissa. But no, seriously, that is definitely a shapeshifter.
right.
No ifs, ands, and buts about that one.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you have the whole, which I haven't looked into it deep, and I know some people like poo poo on it and say that, oh yeah, this is just some kind of nonsense. But the not deer, what the people are calling not deer, where these supposedly deer take on human characteristics or human features, and I don't know about that. I mean, again, I've taken a couple reports could fit that. One was a couple years ago outside of Mannington, West Virginia. This other lady, another lady, said she saw a deer stand on its hind legs, but this one had a human face when it ran off. So is this the same thing, or just in different degrees of transformation? I don't know. So it's kind of weird.
Well, oh man, you got me. My mind's going doo 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 doo. Shut up, Glenn. Don't say it. More so now. Actually, I better check. But yeah, folks, I don't have my oxygen on. I just took it off right before the show started. Glenn's threatened to come kick my ass and give me chocolate ice cream afterwards.
Yep.
So I'm keeping it off. See if she come kick my ass and bring me the ice cream. Hello, Mr. David Lester from Virginia.
I'll I'll just make the trip to kick your ass for her, so I get free ice cream.
There we go.
Well, my oxygen level's 92.
Mm-hmm.
My heart rate, 52.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 91.
Yeah. That probably means you should put your oxygen back on.
I'm good.
91 is not great, Bill.
No, I said I'm good. I'm
It's
always
borderline.
great.
It's
I'm
borderline.
always great. I'm
Oh.
always great. Okay, just shut you up.
It was super great to see you too, Melissa. I was very happy to see you guys. It was an awesome show last weekend, which reminded me, because this is the topic we're talking about. I met William Nighthawk for the first time.
Yes.
He is a pretty awesome individual, and I bet he would know all about this kind of stuff too.
I'd like to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, lightning bug.
I'm trying to remember. I think I was on a show with him one time, if I'm not mistaken, on somebody's show. He was on there as well. I'm trying to remember who that was. I believe it was him.
Yeah. He was super, super nice.
Ryan keeps telling me, get him on, get him on.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten contact him.
He has quite the presence. Like when you're like standing next to him,
Yes.
just I started to cry. I got very emotional just being there with him. I don't know what it was or what happened, because I don't get like that, but man,
You're full of shit. You're a crybaby.
I am going to come kick his ass, Les.
Okay.
I'm coming. And I'm bringing the Fury of Hell with me. No. I very much am into Indian culture and Indian history. And I don't know what it was, but just like being in the same space as him was just very.
Just the aura he puts off, anyhow, I heard from other people, is just awesome. So, yeah, I can understand that, Brent, with all honesty.
He was totally awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
Ryan talks about him all the time.
Yes. And, I wish that troll would get here.
I'm actually talking to him right now. So I'm trying to talk him into coming on the show.
All right, good. Yes, it does, Melissa. That's why she's my little sister. She is a very, very great human being, but don't tell her I said that.
I heard you say it.
No, you didn't. That was all in your head. You're psycho.
I'm going to record this whole episode, and I'm going to cut that thing out.
Bill, you forgot to push the mute button.
Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. But, between her, Griff, and Stacy, Tammy, and her crew, there in Marionville, they kept having people check on me because I was getting really bad there. And I do appreciate all of them watching out for me like they did. But I learned one thing about myself. I do keep my word, and I tell people I keep my word. And I feel bad when I actually have to break my word and say I can't do something, like last year with Gwen. And she yelled at me for kept apologizing. But my word can kill me. Plain and simple. It could have killed me, and it almost did. Because I would not leave. I stayed to do my talk, and I stayed till the end. But, hey, I'm true to my word. So. But, I only got 3 more events I'm doing this year. And the farthest one is Gwen's. And I will not back out from that because she already threatened to bring the hearse.
I
did you or did you not? Yes, you did.
You did say that. I did. Absolutely said it. I'm going to put you on public display. for people to throw things at you.
Yeah.
But Les and Bill will both be speaking at my festival, so that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's gonna be a great event. It's gonna be great. But back to this, because
Griff, if I would have croaked, you would have dug me up just to yell at me. He would have. Yeah. But I'm going to make a little announcement right now about situational changing. Not shapeshifters either. I am reformatting what I'm doing for the next year. I'm concentrating more on my podcast. I'm having different ones that I can trust to go out and do investigation locally and at distance. Like down in West Virginia, I got Les, I got Brian Seach, I got Fred Saluga. Central PA, I got Gwen, Sean Forker. Around here, Jamie King, Sparky. I got all kinds of people around here. I need to concentrate on my health, catching up on different things I got to study on because that's been lacking a lot on this cryptid and paranormal field.
you're not going to get any smarter, Bill.
Yes, I will. You can teach this old dog new tricks. But so I'm not so worried about the investigations so much. I want them. I want to do them myself, but I will not be doing them except maybe one or two that are close by. I got to concentrate on my health so I can be here a lot longer for my family and my friends, and help figure this weird world that we're living in out.
Right?
Just, yeah. So that's going to be the big changeover. I got too much going on that I'm changing it up. I got to. I'm not the superhuman I used to be 5 years ago. So I'm going to count on my friends.
He still blames it all on me.
You and Jamie. You guys walked me to death. Hike me all over the damn place. But yeah. So this is 2 summers in a row I'm missing out on. It ain't ever happening again. The health will get back right. And I do miss being out. And now I'm stuck back in again. You know, Glenn heard me bitch so often about how I can't wait to get out there. Griff, shut up.
The rest of us are going to see stuff with you not being in the woods. So, because you're
say that again.
I said we're going to see more stuff because you're not going to be out there with your mouth jabbing.
My mouth don't jab when we're out there, and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we ought to do some crowdfunding there and get you one of them e-bikes to ride around.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm down for that. I've been looking into that. An e-bike. I really was. They get expensive, but oh God, I want one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But I've talked to people that have them, and they said you'd be amazed when you take them, ride them, you know, through the woods and stuff or through trails, that wildlife seem to pay no mind to them because you're just like sneaking up on them, and you know they don't know what to think, and you actually see quite a bit of stuff when you're on one. So
nice.
Oh,
I'm getting me an e-bike.
Somebody had one of those like a hover around, but it wasn't a hover around with tracks there at Marionville. Did you see that?
like a Segway thingy? Segway with
No,
track?
no. It had the tank tracks. It was all terrain. He was riding around, go, I want that.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Griff was standing there with me, and I said, I want that. Oh man. So we got my wife a hover around, but there's no way to put tracks on that one. Or she wouldn't have the hover around long. I would take it. But yeah, seriously, I've been seriously thinking about an e-bike. So I will put up a donation camper or a GoFundMe for e-bike for me.
Oh boy.
You know that ain't happening. I won't do that crap. If I can't buy it, I ain't going to have a GoFundMe for an e-bike. But anyhow, let's get back to the subject at hand. Now, I haven't really took any reports similar to that at all, Les. Up this way.
Yeah.
Now, you talked earlier to me about one that was up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. If you get a chance to listen to it, listen to Timothy Renner's Strange Familiars. It was. Let me see here. Which episode was it? 6 days ago, it was episode 469 called The Antler Shadow. The Antlered Shadow. He talks to somebody at the beginning, but about 53 minutes into the show, he has a gentleman and lady come on, and they're talking about, they were paranormal investigators, I guess, and they were in an area with one other person, and either she did or they both heard like this chattering noise, and he says it was like he said it was a coon. Well, she then sees out of the corner of her eye, and then she turns, I guess, if I remember how it went, sees a deer jump the road, and as this deer jumps the road, she, I guess, says it kind of went into the shape of a person. And then next thing you know, like almost to the shape of a bear. That's best she could describe it. We goes up in the woods, and they're all standing there, and they hear I was listening to it earlier. It's either a growl or scream or something like that. But they get bluff charged about something coming through the woods, and from about 50 feet away, this thing is standing there like a black figure. But they did notice that this black figure had antlers, like large, a large buck rack of antlers on his head. So they're pretty quick to get out of there the way they talked. So I thought that was pretty cool that for some reason I heard that today after I had this call from this young lady. So it's kind of weird. Because I'm kind of synchronicity, I guess.
Yes, very much so. And like I told you, things have been kind of hectic around here since I got out of the hospital, and I haven't been able to follow up on anything like I wanted to. I mean, one thing after another going wrong, trying to get stuff done, having a hard time breathing and doing the stuff I need to do. So I just said, hell with it, and go back in the house and lay down. But,
I have definitely not heard of any reports even remotely similar to that. No, I'm not saying they're not out there. My area is kind of hard because people are still very tight-lipped about things. Every once in a while, I can get somebody to open up to me around here, but this is cool cracking country, and it just nobody wants to talk.
Well, that's the same with that area I lived in Indiana County. But you know what? I got a lot of them down that area that were neighbors and close neighbors and following me and agreeing with everything we're doing.
Right.
But would they come out and talk about it? No.
Nope.
So they know, but they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I've just gotten to the point in this area here. People know that I'm the resident weirdo.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and a lot of, and it's a close knit area. I mean, people, a lot of people I went to high school with, a lot of people grown up, or families are grown up with, and things like that. So people will actually say, "Hey, yeah, this is how this is what's going on."
That's the
Now,
thing. Yeah, I'm getting known for stuff around here too. Jamie and Jenny's known a lot better than I am. People still go to them before they come to me. And, but
All right.
they do know that I'm straight up and honest about this stuff, and I don't pull no punches.
Mhm.
If I don't know, I tell you I don't know.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what I think it could be, and I'll tell you I'm not. Don't count me as right because I can be wrong. But this is my theory on this. This could be doing this, but I can be wrong.
Right.
As long as we're honest with the people who are coming to us and be straight up, then we go from there. And it works. And it comes out better
Mhm.
for everything involved. Unless
Yeah.
you are very well known down there in West
Yeah.
Virginia. You're one of the top guys down there.
Wes, out of
And
curiosity, how long have you been doing this?
As far as like paranormal stuff, I got into it as a kid. So the Bigfoot stuff, not as long as a lot of people, but I've dove into it pretty hard with talking to people. I mean, I could try to tell folks, that's why I don't call myself a researcher. For the main purpose is I don't know the ins and outs of every historical account. I don't know the ins and outs of the science behind Bigfoot, and I don't claim to. But I will investigate the people's claims and see what I can find and talk to people, and sometimes that's just all it takes is just to talk to people. That's all they need is what they want.
exactly.
It's
Exactly.
to somebody to
Yeah.
talk to. So yeah, that's why I kind of steer away from researcher. Now, as far as researching the aspect of Bigfoot, or the aspect of researching with Bigfoot, or the term or whatever, I like the historical parts of it. I like to look up old stuff. But paranormal investigating, if you want to call it, getting investigating, which I've done a good bit. But as far as being an enthusiast and investigating and looking into stuff from a young age, like I said, from a kid. So I started listening to stories, reading books, and so as far as investigating stuff on my own, probably 30 years. As far as investigating, looking at stuff like that, being into it, an interest and enthusiast. Oh hell, 40 some years. So.
Right.
I talked to a doctor yesterday, a pretty well-known doctor here in Mercer County. And I asked him to be on my podcast, and he says, "No, I want Dr. Brooks on your podcast." He says, "He's the man to have." He said, "I can do it, but he's more into the paranormal than I am." He was even bequested by the Queen to do an investigation over in England.
Sweet.
Wow. Pretty prestigious.
Yes, very.
Because I don't think they just let anybody in there.
But like he said, the problem with the paranormal field, the science will never keep up with it because they can't get to it.
Well,
He says, and that the scientific world will totally denounce the paranormal because they can't get enough scientific evidence for it. He says you can get evidence, but not scientific. He says, and that's the bad part of the whole situation of any research with science.
Well, see,
I know it.
That's the thing I've always wondered and I didn't understand, and because paranormal basically means something that can't be explained by science,
right?
But isn't science basically, how do I want to put this? Is about discovery. Discovering new things, and discovering things, the way things work, and so why do we just because it's called paranormal as far as maybe spiritual or something like that? I mean, why do we steer away from it? I mean, as far as the term paranormal, anything can be paranormal.
Yeah.
Just for instance, take Bigfoot. You say Bigfoot's paranormal, people think, they're thinking, that means spiritual. No, not necessarily.
No.
Just think if this creature, I know we're going off with a whole different thing here. If this creature does or can have, which I'm gonna have a gentleman on here talking about this, has an ability to have I shine, not I glow, but I shine, which means it has that the tapping the sedum and whatever and stuff. If it has that and no other higher primate does, then that's basically it's paranormal, because science hasn't explained how this creature, if it is a higher primate, how it does have this feature in
Exactly.
other primates and those that don't. So in the terms of that, then yeah, Bigfoot can be paranormal, but not in what most people generally, consider paranormal.
Some Dr. George also said, how come there hasn't been a body found of a Bigfoot?
Yeah.
I looked at it and I says, who says there hasn't been? He says, per se, they say. I went, exactly.
Yeah.
I said, Mount St. Helen. There's been eyewitness reports of them carrying out large bodies covered in a tarp.
Yeah.
There's
many stories about.
I says, eyewitness reports of this. Can we debunk it? No. I don't know who the person is. I can't go talk to them and get in that area and see.
Right.
But do I believe it? Yes.
Well, the government has hidden lots of things from us, including UFOs and aliens and everything else. And they're starting to come out and say that, yes, aliens are real. Are they giving us the full disclosure? Absolutely not. They're not going to tell us about any treaties or whatever they've made with
right here. All the information they had, that's all they gave us.
Yeah, they're real, and they come here, and that's about all as we're going to get. But I mean, they're never going to come clean with the Bigfoot thing. There's too much at stake.
Yeah,
billions and billions.
Just think, but that little bit they give you, what is that? That little bit, is it them feeding you that little bit, or them giving that little bit to keep you from looking at something else?
Exactly, both.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah.
And I'm saying both because it is both. They don't want us to pay attention to what they're doing over here, but they want you to concentrate over here, so they give you that little bit, because this stuff right down the middle is going to slap you in the face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, that's a conspiracy theory of me.
Yeah.
I think 90% of Americans would agree with that conspiracy theory, that they do things behind our back and they go, hey, look over here, so they can do whatever they want over here, and we don't pay attention. They're
still doing that.
Yeah.
Still doing it to this day. So
that's never going to
no. And
it'll be like that forever.
Do I believe they have a body? I believe they got several bodies. Are they going to admit it? Never.
Well, there's too much at stake to admit it.
Yes.
The logging industry would come to a halt because they're
looking to spot it out. Shut everything down.
Somewhere is going to want to protect these things and create property where they can live without any, harm from.
There is a law already out there, I believe.
Let's face it, people stuck. And we have decimated, hundreds of thousands of creatures over our lifetimes. And this is just another one of those things. Like, if they come out with it, what's going to happen after that? Like, people are going to get their pickup trucks with their shotguns and their rifles and whatever, and they're going to go out there and they're going to hunt these things down because now they're there.
But I believe there is a law. I don't know if it's a federal or a state law. I just saw while I was in the hospital, so I can't remember the site. That they are under protection.
In some states.
Some state.
It's a state thing. It's a state thing.
Okay. I remember reading that, but I don't remember where.
Right.
And I think that should be a federal thing.
Well, it should be. even federal laws don't have to be followed by states. It's, I don't know. It's this tangled web we weave.
Yeah. But I think it should be federal because then the states kind of fall in line when they want to. That's my belief in that because I don't want someone to go out to kill one and say, yeah, see, they are real. I got this one. I don't want that. I don't want them slaughtered.
I don't either.
So, yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
If the government start admitting they're out there, then they're going to have to start implementing other stuff with it.
Right.
And they're not going to do it. They're not going to shut down the logging.
No.
They're strip mining of the government land. They're strip mining and all that on it, which pisses me off. So.
But that would mean that we are going to label Bigfoot as a flesh and blood creature. And I don't ever park my bus in one camp.
Nope.
Try to remain open-minded because none of us know. And until I see Bigfoot walk out of a portal or, come down out of a spaceship or whatever, I'll jump on the bandwagon of whatever group there is. However, I try to stay open-minded. So what if these things are not flesh and blood? I mean, here we go back to the report that Les took about this deer.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the chances that this was an actual deer? Deer, in my opinion, next to zero. Because a deer is not going to stand upright like that, like as straight as we are. They do get up on their hind legs, but they're not standing as straight up as us. And to walk away on 2 feet, no.
Yeah.
Right.
So what is it that we're talking about? If we're talking about, I mean, even skinwalkers or shapeshifters, those kind of things, they're not, and I'll probably get slaughtered for this, but in my opinion, I don't know that is even a flesh and blood creature, a skinwalker or a shapeshifter or
a demon. They might have been human at one point, but they're a demon. That's me.
Right. So
here's the thing. Let the monsters in with Raymond.
He's here.
Yay! Get him on.
I sent you a messenger. Get on here, Ryan. We need some of your input on this. But I'm going to jump on what you were just saying. I witnessed the Bigfoot I saw was 15 feet away. I presume flesh and blood. Can I say it's flesh and blood? Hell no.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, Bill, what he just said there.
Yep.
Yep.
So
he's coming up. Good.
My question for Ryan when he gets here, and I know that him and I have had this conversation before, but I don't know that I've ever asked this question. But like he says here, Ye Nautilus and the Skinwalkers are human, that they're shaman that followed the dark path. Mm-hmm. But if they are in animal form, are they still capable of being killed? Like if you kill it, will it bleed like we will? Like, is it a flesh and blood when it's in that other form? Is it?
There he is.
Hola, hola. How goes it?
It's going, brother. It's going. Thank God you showed up.
We're surfing the waters here, buddy.
Yeah, we're circling the drain by ourselves. We need your help.
So what's going on?
Throw that question you just set out, Gwen.
Okay, so skinwalkers or Ye Nautilus, shapeshifters, whatever we want to call them. If they are, you say they're human that went down a dark path, but if they are in animal form, can they be killed? Will they bleed like we bleed?
Yeah. I mean, with the Yanagroshi, the skinwalkers, if you're going to shoot them, you have to shoot them in the neck, and you have to have a bullet that's covered in white ash, and that will actually kill them. Yeah.
All right.
It's
Now,
interesting.
Les, tell him why we really wanted him on the show,
Right.
other than he's a troll after me.
True. This gentleman called me Monday evening and
hmm
asked me if I would talk to his wife, that she had she seen something that she couldn't explain on Sunday evening. She was driving down this road about 3 miles from her home. It was like 10:30, 10:45 at nighttime. At night, of course, nighttime. At night, she rounded the turn. And there's a power pole on the right, and there was like some grass, and there's a creek, and there's a big field on the other side of the road. But she rounded the turn, she sees a deer, and she slows down because deer runs out in front of everybody here in West Virginia. But this thing didn't run out in front of her. It actually, she said, just like if you were on your hands and feet, it stood straight up in the air, kind of turned to its right as she because she sped up when it turned. It stood up. It turned and watched her drive up the road. She looked in the rearview mirror. It was still watching her. Then it finally turned on two legs and walked down over the hill and down toward the creek on two legs.
Whoa! So it's a not deer.
Yeah, that's what I was telling about her. Yeah.
And we were
Man, he threw that right out there right away. Okay.
Yeah,
here's
no,
the thing.
that doesn't really have much to do with a Yanagroshi. Yanagroshi, they won't just stand up on two legs in animal form. They actually stay as the animal, and they stay on four legs. The name Yanagroshi means by all means on all fours he goes. So they stay on all fours. They don't become bipedal in any fashion like that.
Okay.
So that was a not deer. I don't know what not deer are.
This,
Yeah, I mean,
No.
not deer. I mean, all I can say is, well, they're not deer. So I don't know.
Yeah. But the thing too, Ryan, shapeshifter, maybe? Maybe
Yeah.
just a
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be a
shapeshifter?
shapeshifter, but there's a difference between shapeshifters. Yeah, shapeshifters and Yanagroshi aren't one and the same. They don't go hand in hand.
Right.
So yeah, it
Okay.
could be a shapeshifter. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
All
Well,
right.
because there's a good bit of history there when it comes to Native American like their presence there. Like I was telling them earlier, there's been other reports that I've taken there of different things, not necessarily deer.
Okay.
One was a shadow, like a large, humanoid shadow standing along the road, just a half mile up the road. The other one was almost in the same area, was a dog that ran across the road, then stood up on its hind legs, ran down over the hill. But yeah, it just seems like there's some weird stuff in this half a mile. And one of the things that is pretty known for that area is the I guess you say the murder of Captain James Booth by Native Americans. There's the creek's the name is Booth Creek. There's Boozeville that's up the road, but his monument actually stands real close to where this black figure had appeared. So we were just trying to dig in to see what, like I was telling Gwen and Bill, I've taken other reports of kind of strange things within a 5 mile radius. One was another deer that had the lady claimed that it was running on two legs, but had a human face. The other one was a man that shapeshifted into a blood man this man was like blood red, had like almost like had no skin. Like you could see its muscles and muscular, and it jumped off of a bank, and when it hit the road, it was a dog, and a blood red dog. It ran and then jumped again, and turned into a man and ran off into the woods. And this is all within probably a 5 mile radius. Yeah.
Okay. So
And
what
that-
tribes do you have in your area, though?
I'm not necessarily sure. I don't know how many were here at the time. I need to look into it a little deper as far as the tribes that were here. I mean, I do know we had some Medina
So
tribes
what
here.
you can do, just something for future reference, what you can do is, if it's not Navajo, if it's not Dene, it's not a Yanagoshi. It's not a Skinwalker.
Right.
So If you're not near the 4 sacred mountains at all, then yeah, you can just dismiss the Yanagiroshi. They're not going to be near any place that's outside the 4 sacred mountains. So shapeshifters, on the other hand, yeah, shapeshifters might be. But you got to find out what tribes you have, because every tribe has shapeshifter beliefs.
I believe there's a Cherokee presence in this area. I do know a little further south there was Seneca.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I need to dig into it a little deeper. What was actually what?
That's interesting, because the Cherokee have what's called the Night People.
Night
Okay.
people.
So the Cherokee have the Night People,
Well,
and that's
here's-
something they're supernatural beings. They call them, they call them the Night Visitors. Okay, and they're called the Nahure, and they're pretty much the ghosts and the spirit of the older Cherokee. They're the ancestors that died, but they stayed on the land. But they take on different forms of different creatures. Like they can become shapeshifters, shadow people, and they're responsible for bringing in other things like the Raven Mocker. So if it's Cherokee, look into that.
Okay.
All right, here's a 2-part question. One from 2 different people. One from Linda Segment, the other one from Griff. Seems like deer has something to be considered here with all of this. Which deer,
Mhm.
Brian, a lot of this stuff does have deer with it. And that. And Griff asks, what does the deer symbolize
Yeah.
in native culture?
Yeah, it does.
That could have a meaning in toward all
Well,
this.
the deer represents hope and abundance. Okay, and the Cherokee have a legend called the Deer Woman, and for men, she's a negative symbol, but for women, she's positive.
Okay, I misspoke. I didn't mean Cherokee. I just looked.
So it stands for
it's
hope and abundance.
Yeah, it's a Shawnee, is what I was. It's not Cherokee. It's Shawnee.
The Shawnee. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Well, they
had
got
Shawnee.
similar things to the Cherokee. They do have similar things to the Cherokee.
Yeah, Shawnee, Mohawk, Seneca, Oneida, and there's a few of them I can't pronounce. So,
Okay. Okay. But they have similar things.
Linda says deer symbolize fairy realm and supernatural.
Not in most tribes, but
Not in most tribes. Okay.
not in most tribes. No, it's hope and abundance, because there's so many deer. It's abundance. So they don't really have animals that represent the spirit realm like that. Aside from like the Thunderbird, that's a very spiritual animal, or
Yes.
lake monsters. That's a very spiritual thing. Or the Quiche Sabe. They don't assign all these supernatural things to normal animals like deer. So
Yeah.
no, it doesn't represent.
Uh,
We keep cutting out over here too.
Huh. Yeah, you were kind of cutting out yourself there. But the
Yeah. I
So
see things.
deer, hope and abundance, but if it's demonic with the deer, that's kind of different. There's no hope and abundance. Is it trying to
Well,
take away the
I
hope
would-
and abundance, or what?
I wouldn't really call anything that's indigenous beliefs demonic. That's a Christian and Catholic term. Okay. So they
Okay.
don't really have demons like that. They have the good entities and the bad entities. You have the good Manitau, the bad Manitau. They don't have Satan. They don't have Lucifer. They don't have all these demons. It's a very, very different belief from what we're used to. And I think we do a lot of discredit and a lot of harm when we drop Catholicism and Christianity into their belief, because we're making the
You're right.
indigenous
You're
belief
right.
into the white man.
I
You shouldn't do that.
and I was wrong for doing that, but I was trying to make it more understandable in the layman's term. But you're right. It is
Mhm. I
dishonest to them. It is dishonest to the First Nation, and I apologize.
Yes.
Well, people are very quick to jump to
Okay.
that. Even in the paranormal field, unless we can all attest to that, being paranormal research or
Yeah.
investigators, that you get a bad entity that comes in and right away it's demonic. It's demonic. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, you stop already. Not everything screams demon.
Exactly. I give you a perfect example of that.
Everything. It's not necessarily. I mean,
That's true.
We
Right.
ran into a bad spirit at
Right.
the old Butler VA hospital. It wasn't a demon. He was just a bad spirit. You know, he had a chip on his shoulder.
Just in a
He
bad
was
mood?
angry. Very. And you could feel the darkness
Mhm.
with him.
Okay.
He's probably pissed off because he was dead,
Right.
number one. But no, but seriously, you can feel it.
Well,
You can actually feel it.
right.
And he wanted to
Yeah.
follow us, and we refuted him. You know, he ended up staying back in that one room, but you could feel I want to say evilness,
mhm.
the darkness with them.
Well, you got to consider how they
But
died.
he
too,
wasn't.
though.
Yeah,
Right. I mean,
which
I like
we
to
really
think
don't
their
know.
death has something to do with it.
Yeah. We do know that he was angry. He's upset. But was he a demon? Hell no.
No.
I don't want no pissed
No.
off spirit traveling with me. Christ, keep me in a bad mood.
Well,
No.
well, Bill, I've always told people if you're an a-hole in life, you'll be an a-hole in death. So,
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get ready, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm going to be
Oh.
right beside you. I'm going to be right beside you, Gwen, the whole time.
Oh no.
I'm
No.
still going to
Just-
troll you in death.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'll be doing live from the other side just to piss you guys off.
I'll be trolling you, dude.
You always do
I'll show up in
anyhow.
spirit, be like, I'm here to troll Bill. Yeah. Yep.
I'll be
I'm just here to
expecting
troll
you.
Bill. Then I'll
Oh, yeah.
get the
I was on this one podcast. All of a sudden, I see, I'm just here to troll Bill.
yeah.
Damn, Ryan. I didn't even know you knew I was on there.
Yep. That was me.
right.
Well,
I have a
Fuck you,
question.
Bill. I follow you all over the place, dude. Sure.
You do.
I have a question
You
for you. I see that it says the Wendigo guy. Can you please, because I know I'm probably pissing people off. Can you
Go ahead.
please
Uh-oh.
talk about the difference or the no connection between Wendigo and an actual Bigfoot?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We
So,
had
all
this
right.
conversation. I know where he's going. I love it.
Yeah.
You've got a Bigfoot, which could possibly be a primate. I'm not saying they are primates, but
Right.
possibly a primate that, upright. It has like aggressive tendencies at times. It roams the woods. The Wendigo does not have a physical aspect until somebody breaks cultural taboos. The name Wendigo itself actually means the spirit who devours.
Right.
Okay. So in order for the Wendigo to inhabit a body, there has to be a curse, there has to be, enacts cannibalism or does some grotesque stuff like that, and they get possessed by the Wendigo.
Right.
So there's no tie between the Wendigo and Bigfoot. There is absolutely nothing in common. The two share absolutely nothing, no similar traits. So where people get this whole Bigfoot's a Wendigo or Wendigo's a Bigfoot comes off as stupid to me. I think it's like,
Thank you.
just, wow, how are you so dumb? I mean,
Thank you. I get so
Yes.
tired of hearing people like, talking about the different classification or different types, and they always lump in Wendigo as a type of big. And I get it just drives me nuts every time I hear it.
Yes. it's
the only
nothing.
way I can see them getting that is the Iroquois have a belief in Bigfoot called the Genosqua. Okay, those are the stonish giants that are known to eat men,
Mhm.
but still, just because they eat men doesn't make them cannibals or it doesn't make them Wendigo.
Right.
For them to be cannibals, they're eating their own kind, and I think that's another
Their own
term
kind,
that in
right.
this field people kind of misinterpret is when they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, they're cannibalistic, they kill humans," and it's like that's not what cannibalism is, man. Cannibalism is when you eat your own kind. So when someone says a Bigfoot's a cannibal, it's a Bigfoot eating a Bigfoot. Okay, it's not a Bigfoot eating a human. So the Genosqua, they're not cannibals; they're predatory Bigfoot. So again, nothing in common with the Wendigo at all, because the Wendigo would see us and be like, "Oh, 4 different people, smorgasbord, yum." So come on, a lot of different.
Thank you. Like I said, thank you, because I've heard so many people say it, and I was like, it just drives me nuts every time I hear it. And I'm glad somebody with your
It's just people answering one
Yeah.
mystery with another.
yeah.
It's people that's popping off wanting to hear themselves think instead of research.
Yeah.
But
Right.
straight up. And when I started hearing, oh, they're cryptid, a Wendigo's a cryptid, hold it, stop.
No.
Right there.
Nope.
Get a hold of Ryan.
Nope.
Get a hold of Ryan. He will give you the facts.
They are not
I
the
said, I'm
same.
not going to argue with you.
Yeah, no, they're definitely
Not
not
even worth
cryptids.
arguing.
No.
No.
So
And
I keep telling
me
everybody,
and you
look at
had
the
that
name. Look at
discussion. Yep.
Look at the definition of the name Wendigo. It means the spirit who devours. Right there, where it says
Right.
spirit, that pushes it out from the cryptid category. Anything spiritual is in cryptid. So
And you mentioned the Stone Giants. I heard that the reason they were called the Stone Giants is because these things were, I
Stone?
guess, no, they were made of stone. They were extremely.
Sorry.
They were extremely dirty, and they built their hair would become matted and stuff like that, and when the Native Americans would try to shoot them, the arrows would like deflect off of them, so they thought they
Yeah.
were made of stone.
Yeah.
Very.
yeah, well, they said that the Iroquois also said that the Genoa what they would do is before they attacked the villages, they would roll in sap and everything. Then they would roll in river rock, so they would actually create like an applique kind of armor. So they had the stones dangling from their long fur.
Right.
And like you said, they would go to fire their flint arrowheads, and it would just pink bounce right off.
Pink.
So you're correct on that.
You know what I find really
Except
cool?
because
If you watch some of these
stupid,
if you watch some of these little movies out, little cartoons, you see little aspects of those stories in them. If you have you ever watched
Yeah.
what they call Littlefoot? And they talk the one.
Oh yeah,
the
absolutely.
king wears the I guess the shawl or whatever you want to call it, the coat of rock. So that's
Yep.
pretty cool. Pretty cool that somebody would
Yeah.
actually put that in those little stories, those little movies. That's really neat.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Kinda
I
cool,
really
huh?
do.
Yeah.
But,
It just I find that cool because when you watch these and you find out things like that, you're like, hey, somebody actually did a little bit of research about something, and
Right.
Yeah.
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 Griff says, "Ugh, please."
Yeah, folklore
Let's see.
finds its way into many things.
People,
Yeah.
please, you can't cross-classify everything as Bigfoot or Dogman. Directed at chat.
Correct.
I see you, Bill.
Nailed it.
You're up to.
Is
Buddy,
that like your
his wife-
self-destructive voice, Bill? Is that what?
no, keep me straight and narrow. That's my heart rate and oxygen saturation. And we got to
Ryan?
keep that up.
Oh,
I've become
Okay.
Bill's personal paramedic.
Yeah, he's got to reach 95, or Gwen's not bringing him ice cream.
oh.
I'm working at it. Damn it.
Should we get him upset, or what should we do?
No,
No,
don't get me
no.
upset.
No,
I
'cause
want ice
told her
cream.
That's right. I'm gonna be there too. Oh, she's bringing me some too. I ain't getting him upset. I mean, I'm gonna bring ice cream.
I see how it is, man. I see how it is. That's messed up, man.
Ryan,
That's
you're just
messed
gonna
up.
have
Leave
to come
me
to
out of
Pennsylvania
this.
and have some ice cream with us.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
We twisted his arm.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
twist.
Hey, I got to do a real quick commercial here, folks. So you be prepared.
Oh, Lord.
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole 10 seconds. Shut up, Glenn.
No.
Show
Let me
respect to the doctor.
Let me.
Hey, Bill.
That stuff tastes like
Yes, sir.
prunes, man.
Did you know Dr. Pepper that's actually produced in Texas? It tastes different than any place else.
Yep.
It's a different recipe.
Guess who owns Dr. Pepper?
Who?
Not Bill Rigby.
Not Bill Rigby.
I know I got a lot of stock in it, but Keurig. The K-Cup Keurig,
Yeah.
the Keurig Corporation, they own yes. And they're out of Texas, by the
I
way.
didn't know that.
And I called corporate. They asked permission to do this. Oh, I screwed
You
up. Where to go?
seriously called them and asked them for permission to show a picture of Dr. Pepper on your
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god.
did. It says
Bill.
I covered the legal basis.
Yeah, he's got
The
to
legal.
get flag. He'll get flagged by you.
I
too.
worry about you, man. I worry a lot about you, Bill.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I ain't getting flagged for YouTube for sharing information I ain't allowed to share. Yeah, the number 2
What?
soft
Okay.
drink in the country, Dr. Pepper. Look
you
out,
have-
Coke, you're going down.
Do you have this permission in writing?
Not yet, but I'm still doing it. I don't give a damn.
Oh my god.
Oh, Bill. You're
Can you call-
crazy, brother. You're crazy.
Somebody is
man.
calling an attorney right now.
I
Yep.
got a couple of them that
I
are
am.
friends that are
Take
helping
my
me.
phone right here.
Right? Call. Somebody call.
Hey, his name's Ryan too, so I'll call him.
Mhm.
A trademark violation.
Hey, now.
I know all about that.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
there's a story behind that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There is.
A friend of mine was in North
Oh, boy.
Carolina. He was speaking at a festival in North Carolina and came across a table where a guy sells laser engraved stuff, and he had some bats on his table that said "Got Knockers" on them. And he took a picture of him and took a picture of his business card and sent it to
Oh.
me. And yeah, the
Infringement on a trademark.
the guy called me rude and said I
Wow.
should be nicer to the next person. And yeah, it did not
Wow.
go well.
But
Chris,
she's
what do you
nice
think?
about
I
it.
bet not.
Some this.
Yeah,
Desist.
I Googled his business name because he didn't have an address on the card.
Mm-hmm.
So I was Googling a business name. Well,
Okay.
there's like 12 other businesses around the country with the exact same name. Only the phone number on the business card did not
Right.
match any phone number to any of these businesses. So I took to Facebook and said,
Oh.
if you guys know this guy, please tell him to stop. You know, he's infringing on a trademark. And somebody must have saw it that knew him and told him about it. And he replied. And basically said I was overreacting and he doesn't see what the big deal is. And he's been selling these for over a year and he has seen them at other venues. And I'm like, you saw me at other venues, you ass.
Right. Right.
me.
He saw you doing yourself. That's wow.
And so, yeah, I very nicely told him that when he spends $3,500 in 18 months of his life jumping through hoops for the government, he can tell me that I don't have a right to be upset. And until then, I'm going to be upset. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
right? So, and then I suggested that the next time he goes to
man.
do this, that he check the trademark registry. Because
Yes.
the next person may not be as nice as I am being, even though he said I was being rude.
Oh.
Yeah, you rude witch.
Because I
And-
called him out on
Oh.
Facebook.
Melissa,
Whatever.
the Jab Holding Company owns Dr. Pepper, also owns Krispy Kreme, but
Well,
Keurig owns them.
Mm, don't know.
I don't like Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper or Krispy Kreme, so we're good. Everybody got quiet.
They're waiting for me to blow up.
Yeah,
Your
Bill's
eyes
really angry all of a
twitching,
sudden.
Bill.
Like, what?
Huh?
Yeah, you better check your oxygen, buddy. I
Yeah.
think it's going down.
I bet it did.
He's ready to fight you.
I know those are fighting words.
She did it on
Mhm.
purpose.
Yeah.
Heart rate,
Probably.
190. Oh my God, Mothman! Where you been, brother?
Oh, that's too funny. Oh,
What's up, Mothman?
Oh shit! Jesus Christ!
You see how that worked? I show up and then Mothman shows up. Weird.
Right?
Mothman's following me, I
almost
think.
like you're one in the same. Hmm.
They ain't. I know them
He's like
both.
stalking me, man. It's creepy.
Thank you, Mothman. Keep creeping them out.
Oh, too funny.
Now, how you doing, sweetness?
What up, Val? What up? What up? What up?
But yeah, you know, now that we went from shapeshifters to Wendigo to skinwalkers to the Wendigo guy
To Bigfoot.
and hard-headed Bill, trademark
Pepper.
violations. Did you say what I think you said, Les?
She's
Did
got
you
me
say-
so scared. She's got me so scared. I won't even say Dr. Knockers or yeah.
Dr. Knockers.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. I'm going to quick trademark that before anybody else gets it.
Too late. I'm on it already.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
Oh, Jesus
That
Christ,
was
it's not
funny.
there in my height.
Holy crap, Bill's so excited he's tearing apart his studio.
Holy shit, it's falling
Calm
in
down
on
there,
me.
Bill. Calm down, buddy.
Dr. Knockers, Dr. Knockers.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
Oh. Thanks, Les. We needed that one, brother.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Only from the mountains of West Virginia do you get Dr. Knockers.
Right?
Dr. Knockers. Hey, Mothman 46. Say,
There you go.
tomorrow.
There you
Tomorrow's
go.
Mothman Day.
Oh,
Tomorrow's Mothman. West Virginia Day. You got to leave out your Dr. Pepper, or not Dr. Pepper, but Mountain Dew and pepperoni rolls out for
Mountain
Mothman
Dew.
tomorrow.
you see that,
Yeah,
Bill?
you.
Mothman drinks Mountain Dew because he's smart.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Ew. That's hard. That's nasty shit.
That's gamer fuel.
Right.
I ain't a gamer.
I'm a
I
I can
am-
say a joke right now.
I'm not a gamer. I am the game.
Oh, okay.
I heard you were a player in a young day there, Bill.
I was in my young day.
Young day.
A long time
There.
ago.
I think it was himself doesn't count though.
I think they still had horse and buggies when Bill was little.
You go, Griff.
Oh wow. Mm.
All right, pepperoni rolls, huh? I can go along with that with my Dr. Pepper.
There you go.
Bill's back alley game. Oh my God.
Hey Gwen, there
Yeah.
wasn't no horse and buggy days. He's so old when he took reports when he was younger, there was gravel at his feet when he was done chipping away at the stone.
Wow.
He walked with Jesus.
Bill's so old that the Dead Sea was only sick when he was our age.
See, Mothman puts peanuts in the Mountain Dew. I always heard that for peanuts and Coke. I never heard Mountain Dew and peanuts.
Ew.
For
Peanuts
what?
and Mountain Dew.
I don't know. Growing up, I remember kids doing it all the time, putting peanuts in the bottle of Coke. I never did do it. I didn't like it. I tried
Me
it
either.
once, but I didn't like it.
That's really weird.
That sounds nasty.
Ugh. I'm not.
Is there
I
a
put
point to-
peanuts in that knocked up sauce.
That knocked up sauce is amazing.
Hey, Bill, this is a family show.
No, that's her hot sauce.
My hot sauce. My barbecue sauce is called Knockout, and the hot sauce is called Knocked Up.
Yeah, but he's putting peanuts in it. That's why this is a family show.
I know it's kind of. It is a family.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I'll
be
shut up.
careful, Bill.
Hey, Griff, what's wrong with boiled nuts? I mean,
Oh, boy.
peanuts.
Those are horrible too.
Ugh.
I know. I kind of
Yes.
like them.
They smell really bad too.
Oh my God, Mountain Dew and peanuts, Mountain Goo, goo.
No thanks.
Oh, Ryan's he's a swirling.
There he is.
Why are you swirling?
Yep.
But
I don't-
I don't understand anyone from West Virginia want to drink mountain piss. I mean, do.
I never have. I don't like it.
Hey now.
It's like battery acid.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll stick with my coffee.
Hey, there we go. Griff got knocked out and knocked up in Marionville.
That
So
is
that's
a
what
shit, Griff.
Hey, Griff,
Yeah.
is that where the belly comes from,
That's a
brother?
good one. That's good. Oh,
Oh my
wow.
I know. Sunday, while I was still in the hospital, I'm sitting there, and I was starting to feel a little depressed. It's Father's Day, family can't come down. Oh well, it's just another day. And then I looked up, here comes Griff and Stacy walking in.
God.
It's like, holy shit!
Right.
They made my day. They did, and I totally appreciate
That's
them
cool.
coming to visit. Yeah, I was not expecting it.
Very
I guess Stacy says, "You gonna call him and tell Bill we're coming?" He says, "No," so he can tell us not to come. He says he needs company. He has a little bit of color. He's doing a live. After church, we're going. And they did. They
There
came
you go.
spend several hours
There you
with
go.
me.
All right,
And it made my
ladies
day.
and germs. I'm gonna jump down. I got dinner to make here. My dog's looking at me like, I'm hungry, Daddy. Feed me. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry about your luck.
if I don't do
You're
what
going, you're
he
going,
tells me to do, I'll be in trouble later on.
Right?
yeah. Yeah, you'll be his chew toy.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so I will
Ryan.
catch everybody later. So I'll text
Thank,
you guys later, Gwen, Bill. I'll text you
got
guys.
yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
And get a hold of us, too. You guys got a lot to talk about. Yeah. Seriously.
Well, I'm going to jump off here too because my office doesn't have air conditioning and it's 95 degrees.
Yeah.
And the sweat
Yeah.
is like pouring off of me. I keep rubbing it off. Oh,
Yeah, well, my butt is headed back to the house myself. Yeah, the office is nice and cold, by the way.
oh.
I like it, but it's a wreck, and I ain't straightening it up anytime soon. Ain't no way.
It's
I
a
don't
hot
have the
mess
energy.
just like you.
Yep, it is. But anyhow, everyone, thank you for joining in with us. This crazy little round table we had. We still haven't got it totally figured out, but we're going to be working on it some more.
Right.
Especially if we get Dr. Knockers with us. that's you're not living that one down.
Probably never.
You know we love you, brother.
Yes,
All
I do.
right. We'll see y'all. See y'all. See everybody in the chat. And
See
Bill,
ya.
I'll talk to you later. See you, Gwen.
See ya.
Take care,
Bye.
all.
Good night.
This has been an Agents of the Unexplained original podcast. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and view on YouTube, and please visit our store link in the bio. Thank you for listening, and remember that paranormal is the new normal.